Okay, welcome to this example. This is example 1.2 related with Thevenin method, okay? And to be honest, at the end, we will run some calculations and comparison with the EMF method, but let's wait, okay? This is a very simple problem, okay? We have again a synchronous generator, and this synchronous generator is 20 MVA and 30.2 kV. In those machines, we have the same sub-transient reactance. Both machines, they have the same sub-transient reactance. And in this case, we are using an underground cable. We are using an underground cable to connect the generator and the motor, okay? In this case, the cable has a reactance, sorry, of 10%, and this is defined on the basis of 13.2 kV and 30 MVA. Okay. The system is initially working at steady state conditions, and the synchronous motor is taking 20 megawatts, and the power factor is 0.8, and this is a leading power factor. Okay, we are working with a synchronous motor, but at these conditions, the system, in particular this point B, there is a voltage of 13.2 kV. Okay. Suddenly, there is a three-phase fault, okay? A short circuit at the motor terminals, that is here, that is the point P. Now, the interesting question here is, okay, calculate the sub-transient current contribution provided by the generator and the motor also, and what is the fault current, okay? In this case, we are interested in using the Thevenin method, okay? This example is extremely simple. The first step, we jump directly into the fault conditions, okay? All of you can go with me. We are at fault conditions. You can see here the equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit, in this case, I am using the incremental network already. I mean, in this case, they are not internal voltage sources. And already I install the voltage source with the polarity at the fault point, okay? And this is the voltage previous to the fault at the fault point, okay? As you can see, in this case, again, we have a single voltage source, and that is creating the fault current. But in those branches, branches here, you can see this is the motor contribution coming in this area, and this is the generator contribution. Okay, I think you can see using Thevenin method, things simplify a lot, because right now circuit analysis is extremely simple for this circuit. Okay. What you need to do first is to understand that in this circuit, this is the voltage source here. But what I need that you understand, is that this is the sub-transient reactance from the generator. This is the external reactance coming from the cable, underground cable. Both of them, they are in series connection. And we have here the sub-transient reactance coming from the motor, and that is in parallel to this branch over here. What I'm trying to say is that the circuit is extremely simple for Thevenin calculations. For Thevenin calculations, what I need to do is open here and calculate the Thevenin impedance. And I believe you can see that this is the motor sub-transient reactance, and they are in parallel. You can see this is the symbol for parallel to the series connection between the generator and the cable in series in parallel to the motor. Okay. Okay. Now we need to put the number together. It's extremely simple. All my students can put the number together over there. And we got here Thevenin impedance, and the Thevenin impedance is 0.12, okay? Now what we need to do is calculate what is the voltage that is at the fault location previous to the fault. And using per unit system, using the per unit system, we can divide the real value, that is 12.8 before the fault, divide by the base, 13.2, and we got 0.97 per unit, okay? Okay, this is per unit. Okay, simple. Next step, well, we can use the Thevenin equivalent model, and in combination with the Ohm's law, we can obtain the fault current, okay? And doing so is extremely simple. And doing so, we can obtain here. Let me show you, and let me move this a bit to the top. And here you can see the fault current calculation. Dividing the pre-fault voltage. Let me move here a bit down. Okay, the fault current will be the voltage previous to the fault at the fault point, yes, divide by the Thevenin impedance, we obtain 8.08 per unit, okay? Good, something simple. Now, to obtain the fault contribution from the generator and the motor, what we need to do is basically use circuit theory analysis, okay? Circuit theory analysis. My students are quite good on circuit theory analysis, and there is something that is called the current divider rule, okay? Here, we already know what is the fault current. The fault current was calculated here, minus 8.08 per unit. And we use the current divider rule, put the impedance together, the reactance together, and we obtain here the results in per unit of the fault currents, okay? Okay, then what we need to do is calculate the real currents using the base. Remember that we calculate the current base is 1312 amps. With that value, we multiply by the per unit values that we already calculated. The current contribution coming from the generator, the fault current contribution coming from the motor, and then we got here the fault current coming from the sorry, this is the fault current, okay? Then what we need to do is basically at this moment this exercise have finished. However, what I want to do with my students is having a look on the comparison with the results coming from the example number 1, okay? If you already watched the video about the problem on the if you already saw the results coming from the sample 1.1, you must remember that during the sample 1.1 we use the EMF method, okay? And using the EMF method, we obtain the full results considering the load currents, okay? However, in this case, what we are planning to do is, okay, I use Thevenin, and Thevenin give me the solution without the load current. And here, what I am doing is including the load current to the previously calculated short circuit currents. And now, what I will do is taking those numbers, and from the example 1.1 and looking into the difference result difference. Okay. As you can see, the numbers are not exactly equal, and the reason is because the load current provide a phase angle that is affecting the solution, and as a consequence, that angle is not included inside the Thevenin solution. As a consequence, if you try to add the currents, you will not reach the same fault current calculated by the FEM method, or between FEM methods and Thevenin methods. Okay. Um, Thank you very much for attending to this tutorial. It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. See you.